Hey everybody, it's Grace, and today I'm going to be showing you a really easy, beautiful, and fun pastry to make over quarantine. Now this will be an eye catcher for anybody who comes to your house after this is all over, when you can finally see all your family and your friends. I'm just going to go through a recipe by Martha Stewart. I love this recipe and I just wanted to share it with you guys. Before the video starts, if you're interested in more cooking videos or lifestyle videos, just be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notifications whenever I post. So let's get to the baking. So now that we're in the kitchen, you're just gonna need a few ingredients to start. To start with this, it's gonna be a 2-day process, but first you need to make the pastry dough before anything. So on to the ingredients for the pastry dough and how to make this dough. Okay, you're gonna get your stand mixer out, and in the stand mixer, you're gonna use your dough hook attachment, and you're going to put in the flour, which all the exact measurements are in the bio. So you're going to put your flour in. Oh, sugar. I have a mixture here of salt, and it recommends cardamom, but I used ground cinnamon. And then you're going to put in 4 tablespoons of room temp butter. This is definitely not room temp. I just threw it in the microwave. And then you're gonna give it a little mixy for like 4-5 minutes. But now about 3 to 4 minutes, this is going to be ready. It's not going to look very incorporated. It's just gonna be like a little coarse little meal. Bring it back up, put it on the lowest setting possible, and put your yeast mixture in. And wait for that to get incorporated. In the meantime, you can go ahead and prep 2 eggs and 1 egg yolk. Make sure the eggs are large. Add your eggs, I believe. Oh. Slowly. Again. So I've gone ahead and taken the bowl out of the KitchenAid mixer, and you just want to get a dough that looks like this. It's barely incorporated, it's pretty sticky, and you just don't want to overwork it. Some saran wrap or anything to cover this with, flour. So what you want to do is grab some flour and get your workspace nice and floured. You want flour on your hands. Okay. And then you're just going to dump this out. You just want to knead this for like 30 seconds, just so you get a nice, smooth ball. You want to get this. And you want to create a nice airtight seal. Now with your dough ball, you're going to put it into the fridge for at least 2 hours. I'm going to put it in overnight. So I will see you guys tomorrow for the next step of this pretty easy pastry dough. Hey guys, I've moved on to voiceover instead of talking to the camera, but today's day 2. You want to get your paddle attachment onto your KitchenAid, and then you want 3.5 sticks of room temperature butter. Just put those in there, and you are going to mix with some flour. I believe it was 2 tablespoons, but again, the exact measurements are in the description. And then once that's all mixed together, you're going to take it out and form it into a 10-inch by 12-inch square on some cling wrap. And then you are going to take the sides of the saran wrap, once that is formed into a pretty good rectangle, and you're going to place it into the fridge for at least 15 minutes. It can stay there for up to a day. So then you're going to take your dough ball while that butter is chilling out of the fridge from yesterday. You're going to flour down your workspace, and you're going to work it into a 10-inch by 18-inch rectangle. You want to work it into a rectangle that's bigger than your butter rectangle because you want to encase the butter with the dough. You also want to make sure that the dough stays consistent in terms of thickness, about 1/4 inch everywhere you are, and make it into as perfect as a rectangle as you can. So after you do that, you're going to take your butter rectangle from the fridge, and then you're just going to plop it right onto the dough. And you'll see that being done here. And you'll just put it in the bottom third. Before your butter gets warm, you're going to want to fold it like an envelope. So fold the unbuttered side over and fold the buttered side on top. Make sure there's a nice seal. Then you're going to want to twist it and fold it back out into that 10-inch by 18-inch rectangle. So roll, roll, roll. And then you are going to want to fold that again, envelope style. And that is your first fold. So you're going to take it out of the fridge, and then you're going to do exactly what we did. So you're going to roll it out, fold it up like an envelope again. I didn't film it, but you're going to do this one more time, and then put it back in the fridge overnight. Hey guys, so it's day 3, and what you're gonna do is get out a baking sheet with 2 pieces of parchment that fit it. Grab your dough ball that has hopefully risen and cut it into 2 equal sections. Now you're gonna get to see something really cool, and that is all of the buttery layers that you created. So let's just admire those. Now what you're gonna do is lightly flour your workspace, and you're going to roll each half out into a 12-inch by 12-inch square. Now you want this to be pretty precise, and you want the edges of it to be pretty clean because you're going to be rolling these out into 2 separate circles. Okay, now what you're going to do is take one of those 12 by 12 squares and put it on a piece of parchment that is on the baking sheet that we prepared earlier. Then you're just going to brush off the extra flour and then make sure that it is a perfect square-ish. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but it needs to resemble a pretty good square. Then you're going to want to take that other piece of parchment and place it right on top of that. Then you're going to dust your workspace again, and you're going to do the same exact thing to the other piece. So roll, roll, roll that one out. Make sure it's perfect, and then put it on top of the other one. So here's what the filling consists of. This is 3/4 cup of dark brown sugar. Then you are going to take 1 tablespoon of freshly juiced orange juice. Put it right on top. You may need to add more if your mixture is too dry, but you'll figure that out in a second. Then the zest of 1 medium orange. Put that right in. You're going to have an egg cracked, but just keep that to the side because that's for your egg wash. And then a pinch of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Now mix, mix, mix. You're going to make sure that everything is incorporated and combined with the orange juice. So now you're going to take one of your 12-inch squares and move it to the side. Then you're going to take the one on the bottom and place an 11-inch bowl on top of it upside down, and then use a knife to cut around the edges. This will create a perfect circle and will look great as the base for this pastry. So I'm going to continue to cut all the way around this, and then once we remove the bowl, it will reveal an almost perfect circle. Make sure to keep those scraps for other little tiny pastries. So then you're going to take your mixture and flatten it out and keep it even over the entire space. Make sure to leave a 1.5-inch give on the ends so that you can place the egg wash and then attach the top of the dome to it. So I'm making the other half of the dome on the left, and on the right I'm applying the egg wash. Place it, make sure to pinch the edges to seal all of the goodies inside. So pinch, 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 and then you are going to find a 3-inch diameter bowl. You're going to place it upside down like we did, and we're going to do almost the exact same thing, but this time it's going to be a little bit harder, so I'm going to go a little bit slower on this one. The first thing you're going to do is cut it into quarters. So as you can see, I'm leaving the bowl on there just to keep a perfect center so all of the little pieces that we're going to twist don't fall off. And then you're going to cut each of these quarters into thirds. So that's just 2 more slices in between each quarter. In the end, you will have 10 of these slices. So cut your slices. Cut your slices. And then this is the cool part. So you're going to take 2 slices that are next to each other and separate them. And then you're going to twist them once and then twist them twice away from each other. Then again, you're going to take them and twist them. Oop, trying to separate it a little bit. You're going to take it once, and twist it twice. Now when you do this, it's okay to separate them a little bit at the center. They will, and it's okay if some of the filling inside falls out a little bit. That's totally cool and will look cool once you're done baking it. So we only have 2 more of these. You're going to have 6 of these little flourishes. Twist, twist, twist. 1, 2. And then the last one. 1, 2. Now make sure you pinch the edges back down to make sure everything doesn't fall out. And take out the bowl, and there you have your perfect star. You're going to take this and leave it out for 45 minutes covered by saran wrap. Same thing with your scraps. You want to be sure to keep them and bake them as well. You're waiting for them to rise. Make sure you take your oven and preheat it to 375 degrees. Then take your star and put it on the middle rack of your oven and make sure it's sideways so that everything gets browned evenly. You can also put your small scraps in if you want. And then you are going to take these, shut the oven, and bake it for 25 to 30 minutes. And make sure you check the little scraps after 15 because they will be done. Here is the finished pastry, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and now we will have a taste test from Henry.
Is it hot?